this. Alrighty. And with that, we should be heard now.
Hello.
Hi, friends. How are you? How is everyone today? Okay. Can you hear us? Is the volume okay? If the music's too loud, please let me know. I tried to turn it down. I hope it's not too loud.
I'm trying to find the chat.
We got one person in chat so far, which is Sleepless. Hi, Sleepless.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, I hear myself through the phone. I forgot to mute my phone. Okay. Let me turn down the music a little bit, actually. See if I can at the very least. I cannot. I can it that low. Okay. Wait, no, that's right. That's fine. Okay, cool.
There we go.
Okay. Let me switch over to our
Okay, cool.
Alright. Oh. There we go. Alright.
Woo!
Hello, friends. How are you? Is everyone having a night? I hear. Okay, awesome. Cool. So, welcome to the third T-Talk stream. Let's go. Woo!
Woo, 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 woo. The third without our third.
Without our third. Unfortunately, Moon couldn't make it. She's really busy and just having a lot on her plate. And she was not feeling good recently either, so send her some good vibes and some sweet comments as well. Which is unfortunate. I really wanted her to be here because I was really excited about this book, but it is what it is, and we didn't want to have to delay the stream any longer. Because it's already been 2-3 weeks almost since the last one. So,
yeah.
It is what it is, and we did warn everyone about this, that sometimes it might just be two of us, sometimes it might, yeah. Alright, but...
As long as there's two of us.
There is two of us. At least I managed to get Madison. I would have been so upset if I had to do this alone, which I probably wouldn't, because what's the point?
Yeah, I think it's best if we probably don't do it alone.
No, never. I really am sad, though, because I really wish Moon could have been here, but it is what it is, and we can't do much. But, you know.
I know.
We will rant about it to her off-stream otherwise and see what she thinks after she's read the book. So,
yes.
Today, let me switch over to the slideshow, which...
I actually read this book.
Since there's two of us, I'm gonna... Yeah, Madison finished it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So...
I can make myself slightly bigger. It's my time. It's my time to shine.
Your time to shine.
My time to shine. Okay. So, the book that we have today is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus, and it was published in 2017. And it... I'm sorry, Spoops ruined your streak, Sleepless, but honestly, we stream when we want to.
Oh.
Sorry. And so, we have no schedule. And so, I wanted to go over this book so badly because it's one of my favorite all-time murder mystery books. I love it to pieces. It is so fun, and I could not gush more about it, but we will get to that. So, let me click to the next slide, and I'm gonna have to move Madison around a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just take you and move you over there, and then I'll move myself over. There we go. Okay. Let me go back to the slide. Okay, so, synopsis. Pay close attention and you might solve this. On Monday afternoon, 5 students at Bayview High walk into detention. Bronwyn the Brain is yell-bound and never breaks a rule. Addie, the beauty, is the picture-perfect homecoming princess. Nate, the criminal, is already on probation for dealing. Cooper, the athlete, is the all-star baseball pitcher. And Simon, the outcast, is the creator of Bayview High's notorious gossip app. Only Simon never makes it out of that classroom. Before the end of detention, Simon's dead, and according to investigations, his death wasn't an accident. On Monday, he died, but on Tuesday, he'd planned to post juicy reveals about all 4 of his high-profile classmates, which makes all 4 of them suspects in his murder. Or are they just the perfect patsies for a killer who's still on the loose? Everyone has secrets, right? What really matters is how far you would go to protect them. Dun dun dun!
Dun, dun, dun.
So, as you can see
Yay.
by the synopsis, we got 4 main characters, all in their perspectives. You got Bronwyn, Addie, Nate, and Cooper, and that the book goes through their perspectives. It's not just one person. Simon dies in the beginning, so he's obviously not a perspective. So,
Yeah.
so let's move on to the characters. Yay! All right, I have to fix the thing again. I think. Wait, do I? Move myself over just a little bit, and you as well. Okay, there we go. Switching back and forth. Okay, so the characters, main characters. Like I said, the Bayview 4, that's what they're known as in the book, is Bronwyn the brains, Addie the beauty, Nate the criminal, Cooper the athlete. And Simon, I did kind of put him down there because even though he is dead, he is focused and his attention on the book because he's the victim and people talk about him the entire time. So even though he's not, like, physically there, he's still technically very important in the story.
I mean, his name's on almost every page, so
Yeah, literally.
I call him a main character, you know?
Yeah. So our side characters, who I had to... Now, side characters is a lot of them, but I had to, like, really, like, be like, who is mostly involved in the lives of the main characters? Like, who, like, they talk to the most, who is, like, seen in most chapters. I wanted to put a certain character, but they are, like, only there for, like, 2 chapters, and I was like, that won't do. So, side characters, we have Maybe, which is Bronwyn's sister, and Ashton, who is Addie's sister, Janae, who is Simon's best friend, and Jake, who is Addie's boyfriend. Those are the characters that are mainly featured in a lot of the chapters and who are connected to the main characters the most. So those are the characters. Next is favorite characters, and I'm kind of yeah, hold on, let me move you. There we go. Favorite characters. The Bayview 4. I didn't want to write all their names, so I wrote the Bayview 4, which includes Bronwyn, Nate, Cooper, Addie. Honestly, I love all 4 of them. I couldn't decide, so I just put the Bayview 4. They're my favorite characters of all time.
I agree.
And then my other side... Now, these are side characters, but I still love them, and they are Maybe, Ashton, Chris, and Eli. I will talk more about them later when I go over the plot of the book, but let me just say, I think... I do like Eli, but I think maybe Ashton and Chris are definitely one of my personal favorites in the book. What about you, Madison? Do you have favorite characters?
Well, definitely the Bayview 4.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't, not like them.
Yeah.
Honestly, this list is pretty much like how I feel. Like, I really love Ashton and Chris most. But I also do like... I called her Maeve because I feel like...
Yeah, I didn't know. I just said maybe my all of my life, but yeah.
Yeah, I've always just pronounced, like, whenever I see that name, Maeve, so that's how I called her. But I also really liked Maeve.
Mm-hmm. We can just say May for short. Like, May is great. We love Bronwyn's sister. Alright. Least favorite characters. This wasn't hard.
Yeah, not hard at all.
Least favorite characters is Jake, Addie's boyfriend. I hate him.
Yeah, get out of here.
And
Boo.
Even though Simon is the victim, I don't like Simon.
We'll get to why.
Yeah, we will get to why. And then I have some of the detectives, which honestly, the reason why I put that is because some of the detectives who talk to them, like the police, are really, they're assholes. I'm be real. They are
true.
So mean. Like, a lot of the lawyers are, like, they're just trying to, like, find a scapegoat through one of you, not fully solve this case. And that's what they do, and it's really annoying. They don't even, like, make a big effort.
It is. It's like a life thing. Like, this is, like, a big deal, and they're just like, oh, well, this is it, obviously.
Yeah. It's like, not, yeah. You're it.
No.
And another person I don't like is Addie's mom.
Can't stand her.
Yeah, Addie's mom is just, she's a wine mom, but she's a wine mom that would do anything to have a guy and surgery and doesn't really... She's like, she just wants her daughters to marry, like, a nice rich guy. And it's like, just, she does not care about her daughters. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
The only support Addie gets is through her sister Ashton. That's why we love Ashton. And finally, now I had a struggle because there was a lot of mean kids in Bayview. Like, they are very mean. A lot of them.
They really are.
They are very picky, but I think the most mean character I had to focus on was Vanessa. She's the typical mean girl. She picks on Addie when Addie's secret gets out, which I will talk about Addie in a little bit. And she is just the worst. She literally trips Addie while they're running track, and she gets scraped up all over, and it's so... She's just the worst. She's
that hurt me. I was like, oh my god, did nobody see that? Like, someone...
I was like, come on. Ugh. Alright, but these are our least favorite characters. Yeah, literally, feel free to state your opinions in the Discord or in the comments below about if you read this book, who is your favorite character and why, because I would genuinely like to know. Alright, moving on to spoiler alert, by the way. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! We are going to go over the plot now, which means I will go into depth about what happens in the book, and I will spoil who did it and why. So if you have not read the book and do not want to be spoiled, click off and go read it. If you don't mind, then please continue to stay. Alright, and let's continue. The plot, and I have to move our things again. Hold on.
I don't think you can move them very much in this.
I cannot. We're gonna we're gonna be really small. We're gonna be, like, extremely tiny.
My little ants.
We're gonna be ant-sized, unfortunately, because, like, I had to take up this entire slide with words. And I'm not good at summarizing, because that is when I'll be talking. So, yeah, we're gonna be extremely small, but anyways. The plot. Alright. I will try my best. Alright. Plot. In the beginning, Simon dies due to drinking peanut oil from a cup he filled with water from the tap in the science room during detention. Side note, there was a mini car crash that happened outside the classroom, distracting everyone. So, like, basically, I'll explain as I go. The main 4 characters each got a detention summons because somebody slipped phones into their bag, and they have a teacher that does not permit phones in his class, so they all got detention. And they were all confused by this, but they all went to detention, including Simon. And so they were in detention, and all of a sudden a mini car crash happens outside, which all of them get distracted and go to the window. And after that, the teacher who is presiding over detention goes to check it out, and that just leaves the 5 of them in the classroom, like the 4 and Simon being, that's why I said 5. So after the incident, the 4 other students are being investigated for murder because, the reason why is because Simon, like I said in the beginning, drunk peanut oil from a cup, and he started having a allergic reaction, and Nate, the criminal, tried to help him by finding his EpiPen, and he told Cooper to go race to the nurse's office to try and find, like, the EpiPens, and they weren't there, and they just couldn't help him. The paramedics came and took Simon, and the next day it is said that he is dead. And so now, because the students are being investigated for the murder, because Simon was going to post some juicy gossip about them on About That, which is his gossip app, where he doesn't list the names, but he lists the initials of the person. And here's the creepy thing about Simon, is that he's always right. It doesn't matter what the gossip is, but it's typically always correct. That was the thing that people always kept going through about that, is that he was always right. Now, throughout the book, the 4 go through a lot with the police and the stress of dealing with school as their secrets get out, which leads to a bunch of things that we find out. So, we're going to start with what they did, and we'll go down the list. We'll start with Bronwyn. Now, Bronwyn, what was going to be posted about her is that she cheated on a chemistry test. Now, she wants to get into Yale, but she was failing chemistry very badly. And she's a teacher aide, so during class she was cleaning up papers and she saw the answers to the chemistry test listed on the computer. And so she quickly, like, just copied them and she used them to pass the class.
She downloaded the whole file to her Google Drive or whatever.
Got the entire thing.
Which I was like, holy crap.
I know. That's what she did to pass the class, and she feels guilty about it ever since. Now, out of all of them, this is the most mild thing that anyone could probably have ever done. It is a big deal, but at the same time, she does admit to her mistake, and she is willing to retake the class. But that was the thing that Simon was going to post about her. And her parents are very, they're nice people, but they are hard set on her going to a good school. So she was feeling stressed about that, so that's what led her to do it. And there was another thing as well. A while back, Bronwyn's sister was out of school for a while because of leukemia, but now she is better and back. And a while back, she went to this party, and some situations happened, and Simon posted gossip about her sister. Bronwyn didn't take that so well, and literally told Simon to just go die in a text, which the police found suspicious. And, I mean, granted, her reaction was warranted. So, but of course, they take that really far and use that as an investigation. So that's Bronwyn. Now we're going to move on to Addie, or Adelaide Prentice. I think. Prentice, I think.
Yeah, I said Prentice.
Yes. So Addie is the beauty queen of the school. She has a football player boyfriend named Jake, and she is heavily reliant on him. So reliant that she literally has no other personality except for surrounding him, which is Jake. He dictates what she wears, how she looks, what they do. It is insanely bad. So after this whole stuff breaks out, it is revealed that, it reveals later, but Addie herself tells Jake what happened. She apparently cheated on Jake over summer with another friend of theirs named TJ after they got drunk on the beach. And that was going to be revealed. And Jake obviously did not take that well and immediately broke up with her. And because of that, Addie went down a spiral because she didn't know what to do herself, because she's like, who am I without Jake? So thankfully we had her wonderful sister Ashton there to help her figure out what she likes to do, and she goes through this really cool bad girl phase of cutting her hair and dyeing it and just being herself for once, and I love Addie for it. She's probably one of the favorite characters I love who has such a good character growth in the story.
I agree. And Nate, talking about her, he was like, she went from, this, just, follower, whatever, to this badass.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. She's great. We love Addie. So, that's pretty much what Addie did. She just cheated on her boyfriend, which, I mean, to be fair, it's probably even less of an issue than Bronwyn's, because I feel like there's so many instances where people cheat on their boyfriends, even if it's by accident, It's just...
This is the high school drama where, Bronwyn was, committing something not good.
Yeah.
I mean, both are not good, but, more criminal.
More criminal, yeah. This is just this person cheated on this person. Okay, dude. Yeah, but that's Addie's situation. Now, moving on to Cooper. Now, Cooper is one of my personal favorite characters of the entire book. Now, when I first read the book, he was kind of boring to me at first, because Cooper's whole personality is he's literally the Captain America of the school. He is he's the handsome knockout who plays baseball. He's an athlete, and he's a very good person. He has a girlfriend named Keely, and he treats her with much respect, and he's nice to everyone. Everyone just wants to be friends with Cooper. He's the sweetest, nicest, most popular boy, and he has a very rich Southern accent, which I love. So,
no, I love it.
Yeah, I think we can relate.
Yeah.
So, Cooper, basically what Simon was going to post about him was that he was doing steroids for his baseball thing. Now, Cooper, in the book, is really calm when he hears this, because he's he doesn't clarify if it's true or not. He hints at it that it's not true, but he never tells us directly, the reader, if it is or not. So you're kind of always wondering about Cooper, and Cooper's the biggest mystery throughout the book. Because throughout the book, you see stuff going on, and then there's a chapter where, while he's messaging while his girlfriend comes over for dinner, he gets a message on his phone. And it's a message about someone being like, hey, handsome, how are you? And you get the fact, oh, he's cheating. An Addie situation. So, throughout the entire book, you just see him, chatting to this person that he really adores, and his grandmother, I should have put her on the favorite side character list, honestly.
Oh, I do love his grandma.
I love Cooper's grandmother. His grandmother figured out that he didn't really love Keely, and he's like, you need to end things with Keely, because I see you smile at your phone every time this person messages you, and I know it's not her. So you need to break things off with Keely. And Cooper knows his grandmother's right, and being respectful, he does do that. He doesn't give a full reason, but he does break things off with Keely, and you're left wondering, who is this mystery person he loves so much? And throughout the book, you're just reading about his life and how he's trying to get to a baseball league, and he's a pretty straightforward person. And here's the kicker, he's not straight. In the book, it is...
That was a good transition.
Thank you. In the book, Cooper is found out to be gay, and apparently Simon figured this out, or someone did, and was gonna delete the original post and post about Cooper being gay. Now, Cooper, this was the thing he feared about getting out the most, because his family, or particularly his dad, he knew would not approve of this and would never look at him the same. Now, don't get me wrong, Cooper loves Chris to death and wants to, have a nice life with Chris out in the open. It's just hard for him, yeah. Speaking of Cooper's boyfriend, Chris is a model and a very nice German boy. and we love him.
Mm-hmm.
I will talk
We
about
love
more
him.
Chris later. I could gush about those two all day, but I will hold myself back for now. Anyways, that's Cooper's deal. Next, we finally go on to Nate, the last one of the 4. Now, Nate, as said, is a criminal. He has done drug dealing. I won't sugarcoat Nate's problems. He has an alcoholic father, a mother who literally left, and he's just going through life, you know. And the only way to pay for his bills, because his father just literally doesn't do anything, is for him to do this. He has to if he wants to live. And still goes to school and stuff. So that basically no one was surprised with this post, because everyone knows Nate's reputation. Nate doesn't care what is thought of him. He's a very just like whatever kind of guy. And so the police the thing with Nate is that the police really want to use Nate as a scapegoat, because out of all the students, they thought, oh, the person who sells drugs would be a great person to arrest for murder, even if he didn't do it. So Nate's pretty on the edge here in this story. Now, throughout the book, Nate and Bronwyn get to talking. They knew each other in elementary, and then didn't see each other for a while, and then rekindled after a while. And so they started talking because they were in this crazy situation together. They end up together, which I'm just gonna say it. And they are a very cute relationship. It is very surprising with what goes on and how it's handled. And their relationship is, like, it's interesting. I find it very, very interesting, considering the fact that Bronwyn is very, like, she's her own person who's bound for Yale, and she's like a stick to the rules type person. Meanwhile, Nate is the exact opposite.
I love those stories where the, good girl meets the bad boy,
yeah.
and
they are the definition of good girl and bad boy, kind of, and it's really good. So that's Nate's thing. Now, so let me continue on with the plot. They eventually come together and try to figure out why they were the ones accused and how it ties to Simon when none of them did it. They uncover that it turns out Simon was very depressed. He just wanted to be the center of attention in life. He wanted to have that whole high school experience, but he wasn't getting that, and he was having really bad thoughts, and he wanted to end his life in a bang. Like, he would look up forums about school shootings. It was very messed up. And so he staged a car accident and ended his life while framing others for his murder, while freely drinking the peanut oil. So it actually wasn't a murder, but a suicide. And so that's what we figure out. And actually, it was Chris who figured this out. Cooper's boyfriend.
So smart.
Thank you, Chris. And so his accomplice was Addie's boyfriend, Jake. No surprise there. Who kept updates on the app while Simon was dead. They end up catching him in the end, and finally the mess can be behind them. Or can they? Can they put the mess behind them? I wonder. Alright, now moving on to any questions. Do we have any? Let me increase our size. Any questions? If you have questions in chat, let us know. I could not find any in the Discord, but if you have any questions now about the book, let me know. If not, I will move on. I'll give a second. Let it roll. Listen to the zombies music.
Well, while we give it a second, I saw that there is a second one and then a third one in the making.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
I read the second one. I haven't read the third. I have read other murder mysteries by Karen and McManus that feature like the same type of genre and vibe with like high school students. And I have so many of her books, it's not even funny. I bought her new one recently, which I think might be the third one if it's out, or if it's currently in writing.
Well, I don't think the third one's out yet.
Okay. Then I must have gotten a different one then. Okay, I don't see any questions, so we'll move on to the next slide, which is a reminder, which I will say now. Please join the Discord. The link is in the description down below. Follow us on Twitter at TTalkTimeYT. Like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell for whenever we are streaming or we upload. And thank you so much. I've been seeing, like, more people join our Discord and more people like our videos, and it has made me and every one of us very, very happy. We're very appreciative that you're enjoying it. Like, I'll notice that people, like, watch the stream after it's over, like, more people. So, which makes sense, because not everyone can, like, appear at, like, around this time of night, but... on a weekday, but it's fine. But thank you so much for the support. We truly appreciate it. But yeah, join the Discord and follow us on Twitter, please, if you want updates. Yeah. And let me go on to the ranting room. Finally, the moment I've been waiting for. Now let me just go back to here. And like right there, and then just get rid of the slides because we're done with the slides. So, wait, is that still? Yeah.
Also, quick question: what happened to our video?
What?
Like,
oh, it's in the live section. There's videos and then there's live. So like the one we did for your book, we had to do on my channel, and I transferred it over via video.
I remember now. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, where'd it go? I know we did it.
Yeah, it's there. Okay. So ranting time. Now I've ranted a lot, and I will rant again. But first, before I say my thoughts, we'll rant together, Madison. What did you think?
I loved it. I thought it was great. Like, when I started reading it, I couldn't put it down. And I was like, oh, I'm only going to read for a couple of hours. And that was when I first, like, started, like, reading more than, like, a chapter or whatever. And I was like, oh, I have to be up at, 5:30 in the morning. I probably should not stay up any later. 12:30 rolls around. I'm like, I have to force myself to go to bed. Because I was like, oh no, it's getting to like the good stuff. Like, it has like the build up and, you're working your way up. And then you start learning what all of them did. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm so glad you did. Is there anything that you like didn't enjoy about the book? Or
that it ended? No, let's see. I could not believe though, like whenever it got to the end, because now this is a spoiler part, we can talk spoilers.
Yeah.
When it got to the end and where did all my stuff go? Hello?
No?
That's so weird. I was watching this stream and it just turned off.
Oh, that does. That
like
happens
literally
sometimes. It just yeah.
Well, no, it literally closed my Google Chrome.
What the...
Okay. Well, anyway, I guess I don't need that. So, yeah, when it got to the end and, like, Addie goes into Janae, and the thing... I loved how she just gave her a hug because she knew she needed a hug. And I just thought that was so great because obviously Janae was going through a lot.
Yeah.
And she just gave her a hug in this, like, hard time. Gave her a hug and she just starts crying and telling her everything that happened. And my jaw dropped. I was reading it last night and I was like, oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah. It's like when everything falls into place.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, it all makes sense. And then, like, you would think back on, like, what happened throughout the book, and you're like, oh, well, that's why that happened. That makes sense now. But I just could not believe that Jake, like, basically knew that he, like, that Addie had cheated on him beforehand and just kept on.
Yeah.
Just, like, he didn't act mad until she admitted it.
Yeah.
Before that, he just, like, acted like they were, like, doing fine and stuff. And I was just like, are you kidding me? That's weird.
I know. I was very shocked to learn this because, like, he literally... Okay, so since we're talking about spoilers, Jake tried to kill Addie towards the end of the book.
I was livid. I was
know.
Like, what?
We thank Cooper for being there. Thank God she had backup. If he wasn't there, it would have been over.
And when her freaking phone went off, I was like, son of a
girl,
gun, Addie, run.
Addie, you've been doing so good. No. It was a lot, definitely. The finale, is the build-up, like, a lot of people, I feel like, when they talk about it, it's like, oh, it's like, it went a little too fast with, like, everything being revealed at the end and then them catching Jake. And I'm over here like, I actually think it was well-paced, considering all the stuff they go through. Because the book, despite it being a murder mystery, it doesn't really focus so much on this is weird to say, but the mystery portion, it focuses on the lives of the people who are getting framed at the moment. And, like, how they're dealing with it. And how this, like, psychologically affects a person being involved in a police investigation. Which I love. Because it sucks. Their lives are turned upside down. The police and their friends are suspicious of them. They don't know who to trust. And it's just ridiculous. Because the police don't really help that much either.
Yeah. And then Nate ends up in jail.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because the stuff, like, they planted the stuff. And I found it crazy when Jenny was like, oh, I was supposed to put it on you because Cooper wanted to pin it on you because you had cheated.
Jake,
and he wanted you.
Jake. You mean
Yeah, Jake. Sorry, Cooper on the brain. But yeah, Jake wanted to do it. And I'm like, the crazy part is, like, this guy needs, like, some kind of acting award for pretending he was, like, still in love with her and everything was fine.
Yeah.
It's like, what? But then, like, wanting her to literally go to jail because she cheated, like, holy crap. Dude, you're in high school. That sucks, but...
Oh, my goodness. And then, after they get Nate out of jail, he's just kind of, like, going through it. And... it just, the scene was
a downward spiral.
Yeah.
I know. And I was like, no.
They were doing so
don't
good.
Ruin
they
it.
were doing so good.
I know. I was so sad. I was like, no, don't be like this. Nate, no.
It's okay. They made up in the end. It's fine.
I know.
That was such a cute scene of him showing up on his bike and, like, being
Oh
all
my God.
shy and, like, being, like, a kid in middle school, like, trying to ask out a girl he likes. It was so cute.
I know.
Like, compared to, like, the steamy stuff that happens, which is mild. I like how Moon asked me beforehand, I was like, is your book, like, less graphic than mine? I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It is, like, super, it's, like, not even, like, there's some spice in it, but it's not even that spicy either. Like,
oh, yeah, no.
Definitely probably a little bit more spicier than Moon's, but, like, you know, definitely, like, moderate. It's teenager love. It's cute.
Yeah.
And, like,
yeah.
We love Bronwyn and Nate. So,
Me too.
Okay. You mentioned, who did you mention your favorite character was? I forgot already.
I don't know. It's between the Bayview 4. I just really like them all.
Yeah, it's hard to
But
pick one.
I also just keep feeling bad for Nate because he went so, like, he was just really down on himself because he didn't get a help.
I know.
And then, like, thinking he wasn't, like, you know, he was just useless and, like...
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, my heart broke because I'm like, no, don't
He literally was an emotional support for Bronwyn. What do you mean?
I know. I was like, dude, you were in jail. You couldn't help that.
Yeah. The cops suck in that situation.
Yeah.
They really... I honestly... I do like some cops in books, but these guys I did not like. They really did not help. The only person that helped was Nate's, like... What was she, like? His supervisor or something? I forgot her name.
Yeah, his probation officer.
His probation officer was the only one who was trying to help him.
Officer Lopez or something like that.
Yeah.
But whenever, like, they fell asleep on the phone together, Bronwyn and Nate fell asleep on the phone together, and then all of a sudden, the next morning, he's on the news being taken to jail, and I was like, hold the phone. When did he have time to do this? They were on the phone all night.
I know. It's really upsetting. And, like, Bronwyn's distraught and being like, okay, I need to help him. Alright, I forgot to talk about Eli. So I did mention a character named Eli, and I did not bring him up at all. So, Eli, he is I forget exactly what he does. He's technically like a lawyer, in a way. Yeah, he's like a lawyer, and he basically takes on certain cases that he sees and gives his own opinions. And Bronwyn contacts him and asks him to take Nate's case, because she knows for a fact that he didn't do it. Nate's innocent. And so Eli agrees to help. Now, Eli, this man is great. He's very sweet. He's considerate. He has, like, he's described as having mad scientist hair, which is really funny. And the best part is he is literally smitten and over the moon for Addie's sister Ashton.
I loved that. I was like, yes. She needs a good guy.
He literally gets moony eyes at her. Like, he literally stops dead in his tracks in the book and stares at her. And it's so cute. The fact that he literally just gets struck by an arrow when he sees her. Especially for adults, because they're both adults for that to happen, is so cute. I loved it. Now,
I know.
Madison, I know in the very back of the book, there's a section that's called Where Are They Now? And it basically briefly talks about what the characters are doing after the murder stuff. And you didn't read all of it. So I'm going to spoil a little bit. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Okay, so in the after credits, we're being put through the perspective of May, Bronwyn's sister. Now, she just brings us up to date on what's going on, and Bronwyn and Nate are doing okay. They have their little spats now and then because long distance is hard because Bronwyn is now going to Yale. And
they broke up once.
She literally maybe in her head is like, they broke up and now they're together again because she drives to pick up her sister from Nate's house, and her sister comes out, and she's like, honey, you better fix yourself. That's the worst case of bedhead I've ever did see.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny hearing that and how flustered she gets, and she's like, I'm assuming you guys are good now? She's like, yeah, we're working on it. It's like,
Yeah, kiss and make up.
Yeah, literally.
Moon! It's Moon.
Moon!
Hi, Moon. We miss you.
We miss you. Hug. Virtual hug. We miss you.
Virtual hug.
It doesn't feel right.
I know, it's weird.
It's so weird. I need to hear Moon's sarcastic comments. They're not there. They're not there. I miss Moon's sarcasm so much.
Me too.
Man. Okay, we love you, Moon. I hope you feel better. Okay. So, what was I talking? Oh, yeah. So, towards the end of, Where Are They Now? Cooper is, dating Chris more openly now, and he's getting scouted by more colleges, and more colleges that are friendly towards the LGBTQ, because, obviously. And, Chris and Cooper are more open, and honestly, I love how Mavy's, Chris and Mavy are kind of friends. So, Chris has become, a good friend to everyone, since he's really fun to talk to, and towards the end of it, they're having, this dinner party at, there's another character. Help, Moon!
I just came to say hello.
Hello.
I heard y'all in chat. You have summoned me for a moment.
Yay!
Hello.
I don't sound great right now, but
It's okay.
No, that's okay.
It's okay. We're just happy you're here.
Yeah.
I'm happy that y'all are still streaming.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Yeah.
You're doing amazing.
I really wanted to I really wanted to ask opinions of what you thought, but I can't do that yet. So
You know what? Next stream, I'll have it read by next stream, okay?
Okay, I'll
And
briefly ask
you can ask me at the very beginning, and we can talk a little bit about it
Okay,
then. Okay?
yay.
How about that?
Sense.
Just don't
All
spoil
right.
yourself by this.
Oh,
Yeah,
next
so,
time is my book too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, which reminds me, I wanted to ask you guys some questions, but I can do that later. I will
Okay.
just text it to you guys
Okay,
because I'm gonna
cool.
go relax now. Cause,
Yeah, please. Go
Because that.
de-stress and
Sorry,
get-
I'm so sorry. I forgot.
No, de-stress, get
yeah.
your mentality, back, get your social battery, up.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. But I just came to say hi.
Okay.
Well, thanks for
Hi, you guys are
stopping.
doing amazing.
Aw.
Woo! Go Madison Wolves.
We got
Y'all don't understand. I just did a dance in my room while saying that.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Goodbye. Good luck.
Bye.
Enjoy the book.
Bye.
Mwah.
Bye,
Bye.
sweetie.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Oh my gosh. I miss her more now. She just
I
left
know.
and I already miss her.
I know.
Okay. Alright, so... Oh my god. Okay, so I forgot to mention another side character, but he's so much of a side character. The thing is, he's a side character in the first book, but I think he's a main character in the next book. So that's why I didn't mention him, but I'm gonna mention him now. So do you remember Lucas? I think Lewis? No, Lewis. Is it Lewis or Lucas? Hold up.
Oh, the best friend?
Yeah, of Cooper's. What's his name?
Yeah, Lewis.
Lewis, thank you. Lewis is, his parents own a cafe. It's a Argentina cafe. And Bronwyn and Nate and Addie and, all the gang is there. Ashton is there, Eli's there, Cooper's there. Everyone who helped out on the case is, pretty much there. And they're all having a good party and meeting up again. And Chris, unfortunately, is not there because he has work to do, and Maeve points this out because she literally wishes he was there to, distract Cooper from talking about baseball. Because that's all he does with Lewis is talk about baseball. But I just thought that was cute to point out. Anyways, so, it's kind of hinted at because, Lewis flirts with Maybe just a little bit, and Cooper literally sends him away, and Maybe's like, why are you acting like my guardian all of a sudden? He's like, I love the guy, but he's kind of a dog. It's just funny hearing that. And I feel bad because I'm, like, I genuinely love Lewis's character in the next book, but I'm not going to talk about it because that's the next one, so I'm shutting up about that now. Anyways, so it is revealed that Bronwyn and May are, like, giddy about something, and Nate is like, what's going on with you guys? And they're like, nothing. And they both do the sister thing where they say it at the same time. And he's like, it sounds like nothing. And so Ashton, like, Eli comes in looking a little dejected for some reason into the restaurant. They're kind of like, Bronwyn and May are like, oh no. And then Ashton comes in, like, squealing and goes up to Addie. And Eli asked her to marry him. And they are now engaged. And it is super cute.
Why did he look dejected?
Because he wanted to fool Bronwyn and May. He wanted to have fun because they found the engagement ring in his office drawer.
I got to that, and they were going to the diner.
Yeah.
Oh.
He just wanted to trick him. But yeah, that's what they did. And so now they're getting married, which I'm so excited because Eli and Ashton are very cute, and Ashton deserves some happiness after her ex-husband was such a mean man. I hated him. He wasn't even in the book. He was mentioned, but, like, he basically cheated on her. And I was like, bruh.
Yeah.
She threw a flower pot at his head.
I found that so funny. She's like, I threw a vase at his head, and then I moved on. See, you don't have to become a psycho when someone cheats on you. And I was like, I mean, get it, girl.
Yeah, same. It was so good.
Tell her how it is.
We love Ashton. We love Ashton.
Do.
Mm-hmm. And so, I'll briefly, like, discuss... I won't discuss the second book in detail, but... You're kind of wondering, how can there possibly be a sequel when, like, Simon's murder or suicide was solved and everything? Well, here, I'll tell you. I won't tell you, but I will. So, the next book is mainly with Maybe's perspective. So, we get more May. We love her. She is the main focus, along with 3 other characters. I think Lewis is a perspective. I can't remember if he is or not. I am struggling so hard right now. If he's not, he's definitely in it a lot more than in the first book. Like, he is, like, there, like, almost 24/7. A lot. So, if he's not a perspective in the book, he is there a lot, though. The other 2 I remember for sure are a girl named Phoebe, which we don't know her because she's not mentioned in the first book, but she is a student at Bayview High. And a guy named Knox, who is May's best friend. Now, these characters, I do fall in love with them too. I think they're really nice. I love them as much as I love the Bayview 4. Any character that Karen and McManus writes about, I just automatically love them unless I'm supposed to hate them. Like, if they're not written to be hated, then I just love them.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so... They're all wonderful, and the first book is so good. The characters are really well written, their struggles are good, and I think the structure of the book was really well done. The pacing was great. It really kept me on the edge of my seat. When I first read this book, I finished it in like a day because I could not, I repeat to you, put it down once, and I just finished it in a day because I really wanted to know what happened. And it is just a really good book, and it made me want to read more of her books, which I definitely recommend. And this book is just, it's definitely, even though it's a murder mystery, it's a jewel. Like, it's more than that. It's like a slice of life and a romance mixed into one. It's everything, in my opinion. It's so good. The couples are great. Which, by the way, did you have a favorite couple at all, Madison? I know there weren't a lot in the book, but there were some.
Oh god, I liked all 3 of the main couples that we see. Like, I love Bronwyn and Nate. I love Chris and Cooper. Mm-hmm. I love Ashton and Eli.
Yes.
Like, I can't pick a favorite.
It's so hard.
Because I love them all.
Yeah. A lot of people really love Nate and Bronwyn, which I understand.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for the bad boy, good girl. Like, I was like, oh, yes. Which, like, the whole 4 going into detention, I mean, minus the murder and stuff, reminds me of the Breakfast Club, because you know you have the jock, you have the criminal, you have the outcast, you have the
athlete, the
athlete, the
brains,
nerd,
the pretty
girl.
girl.
The brains, and like in that one, the pretty popular girl ends up with the criminal.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then the brain ends up with the criminal in the book. This
Yeah.
book is
Yeah.
It's I think that might have been what the author might have went for a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
And like Simon made a spiel about like we got the brains, the beauty, the brawn, and the criminal all in one room. I mean, like.
And he said, and I'm the narrator.
Yeah.
And whenever like they talked about that, she was like, "Oh crap! Now I know what he meant."
Yeah, like it's you're kind
Because
of
he
like
downed the cup right after.
like honestly, it should have made so much sense in the beginning. Like he was acting so sus in the beginning, but because you're reading the book for the first time, you don't really think much of it. And then when you read it the second time, you're like, "Oh my god, I should have caught on to this."
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
I was like, "Who got into the room? I don't understand."
Yeah, there's like how. It was so good.
How did you do that?
Also, okay, so here's a question I've asked Madison this question already, but I'm gonna repeat it again so you can say on stream. Which character's secret was the most shocking when you found out about it?
So I think I told you that it was Cooper's, but because it was pleasantly surprised, I was like, "Oh, yes."
Yeah.
Everything else, like, okay, like the goody two shoes girl does something like bad to affect her like reputation, whatever. Addie cheats on her boyfriend. That's kind of like high school. And Nate deals drugs.
He doesn't really have any secrets.
Yeah, like he's all out there. He's an open book
He's
at
pretty.
this point.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna go into the drama with his mom. That's something that the reader should just read for themselves. It's a lot.
Oh, I know.
It's too much for me to talk about.
I know. I'm glad it was getting better at the
me
end,
too.
though.
I'm happy that his mom was able to get help and come back and like be there.
and try to get his dad some help too.
Yeah, literally.
But I definitely think Cooper's just because I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like, "Oh, wow, I did not."
Like, can I talk about it for a second? I was like,
yes.
Okay, so when I first read this book, now I've read this book like almost 3 times now because like I love it. When I first read it and I was reading about Cooper, I didn't suspect a thing, which a lot of people would probably be like, "Oh, duh," because of this, because some people are like that. But for me, I had no clue. I didn't think about it because he's written as such like a straight-laced, nice guy with a beautiful girlfriend. He's the popular boy. And the reader is led to believe that he is using steroids when he's not. And then the reader is led to believe that he has a secret girlfriend, which people assume it's a girl. Like, because he's dating Keely. So you're kind of just like confused the entire time about like what the frick did Cooper do? What the flipjack racket is going on? I don't know. And here's the best part is I love how they revealed it. It's like my favorite chapter of all time, next to a couple of Bronwyn and Nate's.
Oh yeah.
Chapter 19. And
Love that.
Basically, how the chapter goes is that like after dealing with the police and being stressed out about it, he goes to see Chris and like. It doesn't state that who he's going to see. He's just going to see someone. And he arrives at this apartment complex and he knocks on this door. And this person answers it. And they're like, "Hey." And he says, "Hey" to Chris. And the way we find out is one singular word is mentioned in the very last sentence of the paragraph. And he's like, "I melt into his arms. And embrace him." And then the reader's like, "Oh." It's like all clicks.
I know. I figured he was going to see that the person that he was texting, and I was like, "Oh, this must be it. This must be the person he's been texting." And then it says his, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
plot twist."
Yeah, like major plot twist. And like it was a very pleasant surprise because like Cooper is a good boy and Chris is a good boy and they both love each other and I both adore their relationship. And another scene that I really like I wanted to include Chris on side characters, but he's not featured enough and he should be featured more. But he is in one other chapter where he is with Chris at the diner with Bronwyn and Addie and Ashton, and they're trying to figure out more stuff about Simon and try to piece it together. And Chris is the one who's like, "Have you guys thought about putting these sticky notes together?" kind of thing. So he's just there. And Cooper has some internal thoughts about how he like really wants to like be more open with Chris and hold his hand and stuff, but it's like really hard for him to do that. And after like Chris figures out the problem, I don't know if that was just like a major turn on for Cooper or something, because as they walk out, he literally like pins this boy to a wall and kisses him, And he's like, I thought you forgot how to do that. It's one of my favorite lines.
I loved that. I was like, oh my god, that's so funny.
I was like, I love that line. It's like, I thought you forgot how to do that. It's one of the best lines.
Nope.
Nope. And then they're holding hands. And he's like, is this okay? And he's like, yeah. And it's so cute. And I love it. And like, everybody in like the group just loves Chris. He's such a nice person. They all befriend him. And like,
I mean, how could you not like him?
I know. And also the fact that he's like German and a model. Like, way to go, Cooper.
For real.
Way to go, sir. But also another chapter towards like, where are they now? Like, he's also there. They're watching like this news thing where like the news broadcast is called Where Are They Now? And like Chris and Cooper are just sharing a bowl of popcorn and they're just sitting there and they're not even doing anything, but I'm just like dying over how cute it is and they're not doing anything.
So cute.
I don't know, they're just really wholesome to me. And then Bronwyn is sitting in Nate's lap off to the side and they're just being cute too. So it's just gah.
That was so cute.
When I was reading this murder mystery, I did not expect to encounter a bunch of adorable ships.
I know.
I was so happy. So that's why, like, when I was like, when this book was suggesting you and Moon were gonna read it, I was like lining up my questions, like, who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite ship? Who's like, I was like so excited to ask these questions.
I know. I love asking those questions when people are reading one of my favorite books. I'm like, tell me everything.
It's like, what did you think?
What do you think? Please don't say anything bad because my heart can't handle it.
Out of the ships.
My little heart.
Out of the ships. Like, I know it's hard to decide. It's hard for me to decide, but I think my favorite is Cooper and Chris. Maybe it's because I'm a little biased. I don't know. But I definitely do love them. They are very cute, and even though they're such a side character ship in a weird way, because, like, it's so weird. They're a main ship, but not, because Chris is such a side character, so you don't really see much of their relationship. All you know is that they love each other. That's about it.
I think mine would still be Nate and Bronwyn, because first, it just kind of, I don't want to say hits home, but, like, some of it is, like, reminds me of, like, some stuff. So, there's that.
Yeah.
But also just because Chris was a side character, so you couldn't see too much of their relationship.
Yeah.
So I feel like if Chris was more involved, they would probably be my favorite.
Yeah, honestly. But there are a lot of endearing moments between Nate and Bronwyn that I will now discuss, because I just got done gushing about Cooper and Chris, so now we will gush about Bronwyn and Nate, because it only seems right. So, Bronwyn, the brains. She... Literally, the second chapter, or the third, with featuring Bronwyn, is, like, her sitting outside the school, like, just getting over everything that happened to Simon, and Nate literally being like, well, that just went down here, you want a drink? And she's like, why not? And he offers to take her home, and that small moment is what sets off everything for them. And so... throughout the book, they get to talking, because for some reason, they just find comfort in each other after all this shit going down, you know? They just want to talk and, like, go over it. And currently, while they're talking, Nate is, like, kind of seeing someone. Not really. He just is a go-with-the-moment kind of guy. And then, towards the later the book, when he starts getting more feelings for Bronwyn, he stops doing that. Which, thank God, he literally was at a party, and... he heard some girls make fun of Bronwyn, and he's like, oh, hell no, and he walks away, and I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know. I was like, yes, thank God.
Oh, you're not a jerk, thank you. I was, like, really concerned for Nate's character, because, like, even though it is revealed he deals drugs, they gave a valid reason for why he does what he does. So, I wanted to dislike his character for the pure fact that there were a lot of questionable things about him, but they were explained and dealt with very well that I could not dislike him.
I know.
And I was
he has
like,
such a hard life.
Yeah. I'm like, and he tries to make it work. And tries to make up for it.
He wasn't, like, doing the drugs.
No, he wasn't.
So I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's the thing I could appreciate, is that he was just selling them. Which is still bad, but, you know.
It was like, my family, has enough, like, issues type deal, like...
I don't need to be doing that.
Don't want to be joining the train.
I forgot about Stan! The lizard!
Oh my gosh, I love that. He was like, who took my lizard? And Brown was like, I fed Stan.
Yeah, and I love the line. He's like, you want to meet my lizard? And he's like, that's not a pickup line. You want to see my lizard? Literally. I never got that line because when I read this book, I was like in my sophomore year of high school, and I was very close-minded about certain things, so I did not get it at all. But now I do.
I know.
Like, oh,
It's so funny.
it is.
And then like at the end, whenever like they're, I think it was. Oh, he like Stan like gave like a little bit of a wave, and
Yeah.
she's like he waved at me, and it was right before they like stopped talking after like he got picked up from the
We won't
hospital
talk
or
about
the.
it. We won't talk about
I know, and he was like, yeah, he does that like once a year.
Yeah.
I was like,
so
oh.
funny. I just love how this. I think the best part, what drew me into his character the most, was the fact that he had a bearded dragon that he just would take out of his cage and stick on his shoulder and just relax. I was
And
like,
sit
that's
down, eat a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, that's great.
I loved it.
Yeah, and just they definitely have some very cute and spicy moments between the two, which I adore. And it like when I reread chapter 19, again, there were a lot of things I picked up on compared to when I first read this book, because again, my mind was very closed off, so I just didn't really understand, but now I did. I'm gonna be real with you, Madison. There's a line in Bronwyn's head where she's self-conscious, but then she says something along the lines like, I know for a fact that he's attracted to me, and she's like,
oh,
and I
yeah,
didn't get it. I was like, how do you know that for a fact? And then I reread the line. I was like, oh, wait, I get it now.
You're like, oh,
Oh,
I know how.
I know how. Okay, makes sense. The fact that, like, I think I love couples like that because, like, after that, he's like, we need to just chill out. Because, like, they clearly had the hots for each other so much to the point where he was like, okay, we need to, like, chill. Yeah.
Okay. I love that. I'm like, wow, such a good guy.
Yeah. It's
Take a moment.
you know, I marvel at your control, sir. Good job.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Then again, it did make sense. Like, they were in the basement of her house, and her parents were upstairs.
And nobody knew he was downstairs.
Yeah, that would have been awkward. So, you know, good call.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Yeah. But they are a good couple, and, okay. So, let's talk about Addie real quick and her relationship with Jake. And there wasn't much to talk about. Other than that, it was awful. I already got over he was a control freak involving her, and he was very toxic, and their relationship in a whole was very toxic. Like, it just wasn't good. So when Addie cut him off and started living her best life, it was amazing. And, like, there are points in the book where, like, the person she cheated on after, like, TJ, like, TJ is a nice guy. He's, like, not, like, a jerk or anything. Like, they were drunk on the beach and had a night, you know, it was, like, a one-night thing, and she obviously regretted it. So, like, I don't personally hate TJ's character. Like, he's not a bad guy, but, you know, what they did do was not good.
Yeah.
But there are points where he does kind of, like, flirt with Addie a little bit and kind of was, like, maybe seeing if there could be a thing. And the best part I love about Addie is she's like, I don't want a relationship right now. I'm taking a break from boys, and I'm focusing on myself.
Yeah.
And, like, my
and
life.
her mom's like, no.
And then her sister,
you don't need that.
And then her sister coming in clutch, being like, you know, why don't you come live with me in this new apartment, away from my mother?
Know.
And I was
It
like,
made me so happy.
Yeah, me too. I was like, Addie finally dealing with this thing. Gosh, I love it.
I know.
Like, she is a good character, and she has the best character development. I feel like okay, I'm gonna make a prediction here. I kind of hope Moon isn't watching right now. I have a prediction, Madison. I predict that Addie will be Moon's favorite character.
Yeah.
That is my prediction.
I can agree to that.
Yeah. If I'm wrong, I will be surprised.
Yeah. I also, like, whenever it came out, like, the Tumblr post where it was, like, talking about the cop eating donuts, and that was the thing that Addie had said to Jake just because she didn't actually want to tell him what was going on after they broke up because he was just being, like, a jerk.
Yeah.
And when it said that, I was like, oh my god. Goosebumps ran up my arm. I was like, it's freaking Jake.
Yeah. Honestly, I suspected him halfway through the book because I just didn't like him, and I was like, I hope you're the person. I hope you are, so you can be taken to jail.
I know. And whenever like they were gonna go to that party and they were picking her up and TJ was in the car
Yeah.
and he was like, "Is that what you're wearing?
Oh
Why don't
my
you go change?"
mm.
I was like, "All right, well, least favorite character, here he is."
Yeah, literally. I put him at the top of the. No, I did not put him at the top. Did I put him at the top of the list? Hold up. Oh, I got rid of the thing. Dang it.
I think you did.
I hope I did. I hope I did. He deserves to be at the top of the list.
I was just like, "Are you kidding me?
I-
We are not starting that. No, sir. Get out of here."
I hate it. I hate Jake. I hate him so much. He deserves.
I was like,
he deserves to be in juvie.
Yeah.
Yeah, just no on Jake. We hate Jake. Ugh.
It's a no.
He's a little shit. I hate him. Anyways.
He's a little shit.
I'm sorry, he is. I hate him.
Oh, that was funny.
I'm like trying my best. Like I can't help but I have to small curse at these guys. I hate them. I have to let my anger out somehow. They deserve to get stung by a bunch of bees and have their faces ruined. I hate them.
Hope they stub their toe
Yeah.
on the edge of a coffee table.
Yeah.
You dirty dog, you.
Yeah. I hate him. Oh, I wish he fell into that fire pit at the beach they were at. Okay. Anyways.
Oh.
But Addie has a good character development. We love Addie. So
Yes.
there was like something else I wanted to talk about. I completely forgot now. Gosh darn it. Man. Oh my brain. Oh, Janae.
Well.
Janae. I didn't talk about her. Janae is Simon's best friend for all you who were confused about when Madison brought up a girl named Janae. She is kind of sad because Simon passed away and she did care about Simon as a friend. Maybe liked him, it's unclear. But she wanted to help him, but there was not much she could do. And Jake literally blackmailed her to helping him try to smuggle evidence into Nate's house to get him arrested. And she's just having a moment, and she needed that hug.
Well, he was trying to get it to go onto Addie, and she was like, "No, you were like the only person that asked if I was okay and thought that I might be sad and treated me like a part, just like all this." And I was like, "Oh my god,
so nice.
see what being nice in life does."
Exactly. I was like, oh, so good.
She said, "So I instead told him to do it to Nate because I couldn't do it to you." And so whenever she was going over to Addie's house, she was like, "Do you want to hang out?" And she was like, "Yeah." And they go to Addie's house, and what's her face? Bronwyn texted her and said, "Be careful, I don't trust her." I was like, "Oh no, she's in on it. She's gonna plant something. Something's gonna happen." Obviously it didn't. So I was like, "Okay, I guess I was wrong."
Yeah. It was really sus when she left with her backpack really fast.
Yeah, she was like, "I gotta go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, thankfully, Addie did not get that stuff landed on her. But it was still unfortunate that she chose Nate. Or any of them.
Yeah.
Girl.
I know.
You should have gone to the police. Like, the police sucked, but you should have gone to them.
Yeah.
Ugh. Also, I just remember what I wanted to talk about. Can we talk about the lunch table scene that happened? The good one. Do you remember that? The cafeteria scene?
The good one.
The good one, where, like, they all sat at the table, all of them. All four of them. The murder table.
Well, yeah, but is that the one where
Cooper
was
is getting
outed?
It's like where
Yeah.
Cooper, yeah. I love that scene.
I know. I felt so bad. I was like, "Oh no!" And then Nate comes in. He's like, "Really?" Like,
What?
and stood up for him. And then he was like, "All right, let's go."
Yeah, he's like, "Come on, man." And then Bronwyn just stands up and kisses him because in
like,
her head
yes.
she's like, he was so hot in that moment.
Like, wow,
I
love
was
this
like,
man.
Get it, Bronwyn.
I know. That's the one I thought you were talking about, but I was like,
yeah, that one, yeah. There was a lot of sad cafeteria moments, but I like that one because it's my favorite. And, like, I love how, like, even though, like, they managed to take the heat off of Cooper when they brought him over to their table, I love when Cooper's friend Lewis stood up and came over and joined them, and, like, it's like, you really can know who your friends are. And, like, how Lewis handed him a banana, and they all started laughing.
He was like, "Oh, man, it couldn't have been Apple Day."
Yeah, literally.
But also, like, helping him sneak out of the gym. Like,
yeah,
oh, there's
such
you
a
go.
bro move. Such a bro.
And then, of course, he went to meet Chris, and I was like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It was such a bro move, honestly, on Lewis's part. We love that.
I was like, wow.
And it is discussed throughout the book how Lewis, like, has this on and off thing with this girl, which, honestly, fair enough, I guess. Lewis is a football player, I think.
Yeah. He was baseball.
Was he baseball? No, it was Jake that was the football player. Lewis is a baseball player, I think. Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe.
Okay.
Lewis is an athlete too. He does sports. He does the sports. The sports.
The sports.
The sports. But honestly, I was kind of nervous to read about Lewis in the second book because after Cooper's comment, be like, he's kind of a dog. So I was kind of nervous about that. But actually, no, this man is so sweet. Like, Lewis is a very genuinely nice, good character that I love in the second book. Maybe it's because, like, it's his senior year in the second book, I think, and he's, like, had, like, you know, more matured a bit more, which is nice. So that's just nice seeing him. So, like I mentioned before, there is a second book. It does kind of pick up with the gossip app. It does involve the gossip app again, but something slightly different, and it has a truth or dare aspect to it.
Oh.
So that was really fun to see how that played out. The Baby of Four is still briefly mentioned in it, and they are, it kind of goes over, they are still there, it's not through their perspectives though, but they are there, they show up now and again, like, especially Cooper, since, like, there's literally, like, a small tidbit, they go to, like, a baseball game of his in the book, which, I guess I can say that much at the very least. You know, yeah, and so the new characters are really interesting. There are some new characters, new ships that I adore, and new stuff that goes on in the second book that is amazing. It is, I forgot, like, if there was anything at the end that hinted to the third book you mentioned, Madison. I cannot remember for the life of me, so that's why I didn't think there was gonna be a third book.
Yeah,
I'm shocked that there is.
Let me see, because, so I was on Goodreads, and I was, saying that I completed it, and I went on to Karen McManus and to see, and then it shows the One of Us is Lying, One of Us is Next.
Yeah, that's the second
one. And then, where's it at? One of Us is Back.
Oh.
Is what it's called, and it looks like it's a 2023 date.
Okay.
Let me see. Should I read this the little preview? There's not much in it.
I would hold off, because I haven't even talked about the second book, so I wouldn't really read the... We'll do that in the future.
Okay.
But I will briefly mention, Karen McManus does also have other murder mysteries that is not connected to the One of Us is Lying universe, but does have... She has her covers are very similar to, like, a lot of her books, so it's kind of hard to tell if, like, the books are connected. But, you can tell by, like, the titles of being, like, One of Us is Lying, One of Us is Next, One of Us blah blah blah. Another book of hers is, like, Two Can Keep a Secret. And, I read that one. It is a really good one as well. I also read one called The Cousins. The Cousins is, oh my god, there are so many plot turns in the book The Cousins. Like, I was reading through that thing so fast because, like, the amount of, like, things you find out and like, it was kind of a reach. I will give it that. Like, The Cousins is a bit of a reach involving the plot, but it was very interesting, and, like, how she wove everything together was like, oh my goodness. The two can keep a secret is, like, it's, I don't know why, but Two of Us Can Keep a Secret, like, it kept my attention span. I did enjoy it, but, like, there's just something lacking in that one. I think it could have been done a bit better in that one, maybe. I don't know why I felt like that when I was reading it, but I did, and it was okay. But compared to, like, One of Us is Lying series and The Cousins, I think, like, Two Can Keep a Secret was meh. If I'm thinking of the right one, I think it's Two Can Keep a Secret. I have so many of her books. I have another one that she came out with that isn't a part of any of the other series that I need to read as well. I bought it recently, so I need to read that. But yeah, if you're interested in this author and the books she writes, because I think they're all murder mystery, you should definitely go check them out. They're very good. I hope you guys enjoyed the book I chose. Just, like, Madison had a romance slice of life, Moon had a fantasy, and I had the murder mystery. And considering how much I love fantasy and romance, it's kind of a shocker that I would choose this, but I just wanted to be different and slightly quirky, so, you know, here we are.
Gotta love that.
Yeah. And it is a good book. It does have cute romance in it, and it's like...
It is. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Madison. I was so excited to introduce this book to you guys.
I've been wanting to read it for a while. Like, it's been on my EBR for quite some time, ever since I worked at the library. So
I have a couple other murder mystery books that aren't by this author, but I do have a couple good ones in the future that I'm excited to show you guys as well. Maybe I'll try to like switch out the genres, and then like 1 week it's like fantasy week, the next is like, you know, time for murder.
Yeah,
You know.
I do love that.
With that said, but this was our third and last book of this section. It's not our last one, but it's the last one for the 3 that we picked. So how this, like, I'll briefly go over again how this works is 3 of us pick a book, we read the books, and then we talk about them, but we do 3. And they are not really specific. It could be like just a random batch. Like this was a random batch. We had like a slice of life, a fantasy, and a murder mystery, random batch. But if you guys want to see certain books, we can always do like little themes. Like we could do like a fantasy set where all of us pick fantasy books. We can do a slice of life set where all of us pick slice of life books that we like, which might be hard for Moon since she has nothing but fantasy. But
Yeah.
we have a bunch, and if you guys want to see us read other books, like it could be any type of genre. I will begrudgingly read sci-fi,
Yeah.
but I will try.
That's on the bottom totem.
Yeah,
pole right
literally.
there.
I don't think all 3 of us. I don't think any of us really truly like sci-fi.
I have one, I think, sci-fi book that I got in a book box, and it is still sitting on my bottom shelf. It is not moved.
I can't think of any sci-fi books I own. If I do have some, actually, I do have one by the person who wrote the Aragon series. And like I did enjoy it. It's very long though, and very like scientific sometimes, so it's kind of hard to keep your attention, but it is very good.
Yeah, I don't want to be smart when I read a book.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to think.
What I love that sentence. Can we quote that? I don't want to be smart when I read a book.
Here, I'll do it. I got
Yes,
it.
please. You gotta put it in our quotes. I think we have quotes in our own Discord.
Yes.
I don't want to be smart when I read a book. You know, I kind of, like, even though I don't like sci-fi, I do love books with, like, puzzles. Like, where characters figure out, like, puzzles, or, like, that's why I like murder mysteries, because it doesn't take too much brain power, and you're just intrigued. You're like, why? Why? And it's so good.
Mhm.
That's probably, like, a lot of people, when it comes to, like, certain genres, there are people who don't like murder mysteries because they don't like murder, and they just don't like mysteries. But personally, I love mysteries. I love a good mystery. I love, like, sitting down and be like, why did this happen? Explain it to me. But,
Exactly.
yeah, so, like, anyways, back on track. We might do little themes. We'll try at least, but it most likely will be random. So, this was our first set of the 3 books, and I hope you guys all enjoyed, maybe someday, The Dragon Twins and One of Us is Lying. I hope you guys enjoyed all 3 of those books, and I can't wait to hear feedback if you guys read those books or not, and, like, what you thought about them, if you haven't read them by then. Madison, did you ever finish The Dragon Twins?
No, because I was working and then I had to start this book.
Oh, yeah.
And so no, I have not. It's on my to-do list.
Yeah, and then Min has to read mine and the next one we're doing for you. So, oh yeah, speaking of which, since we're done with this round, we're going back to Madison, and I will not spoil her next book since it's a whole new schedule, but the new book schedule will be put up in what's the chat called, in a book schedule. So in our Discord we have a thing called book schedule, and we will announce that on our Discord and on Twitter. Maybe on Twitter, I forget. No,
I don't think
not
it's
on Twitter. Not Twitter, just the Discord. So if you want a sneak peek of what we're doing, you have to join the Discord. All right, if you want to know what we're doing in the future and you want a sneak peek, you gotta join the Discord. So Sneak peek. So yeah, we'll update that soon, and then we will update on Twitter of what book is next eventually when we get around to finally working the schedule out, because Thanksgiving is coming up, and I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, because I don't know when I'll see you all next. If you celebrate it, that is. For those who celebrate, happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a good holiday. For those, some people are off for an entire week.
I'm jealous.
I'm excited. I'm off for a week and I can relax. I don't know when our next stream will be since it's a whole new book schedule. I'm gonna say sometime in December would probably be a good call.
Yeah, I think it was originally supposed to be...
It was originally supposed to be like the middle of November for your book, because we were supposed to do like towards the end of November your book. and middle of November
Yeah.
for mine because we were gonna stream a while ago, but stuff happened. So
Yeah, but then it got
yeah. But don't worry, it's all good. At least we managed to talk about this book, and I'm so happy.
Yes.
And I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I need to talk about that is relevant right now. I don't think so. But yeah, we have some really interesting books for you guys coming up. I hope get excited. We definitely we literally spent a night talking about what we're gonna do next. So we're all excited to do the next set of books. So get excited for that. And we hope you enjoying this. We hope make sure to read more, drink some tea. I unfortunately didn't have any because I had no time to make some. I'm gonna get some after the stream. And have a fantastic rest of your night and week, and enjoy Thanksgiving, please, if you celebrate, that is, the holidays.
Yes.
And get excited for December because Christmas.
Christmas.
Did you know they're already playing Christmas music on the radios?
Yes, I did.
I did not know this until today.
I work in the retail,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I hear it. Don't you worry.
Oh my goodness. I one time heard it in summer because one of my coworkers likes to play it in the back of the gym on Saturday. I'm like, bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other day, me and my coworkers were trying to figure out, we were seeing if we remembered all the words to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So I was singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and my coworker was doing the Monopoly, the little bits, so the backup singer stuff. So
like a light bulb.
Yeah, and then we're just walking around. I'm like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and they're like, "What the heck is going on? Why are you singing Christmas music?" I was like, "Shut up! We're trying to get this right, okay?"
You say that to a customer.
Oh, yeah, I imagine. And then we were trying to get the 12 Days of Christmas. We could not. All I knew is 5 golden rings.
Yeah, that's literally all anybody really knows.
4 French.
Oh, we should have a fun... Actually, this might be an interesting idea. We should have, a fun video where we talk about, classic Christmas tales. Because we did mention we would talk about, movies, too. Or, genres.
That's true.
Yeah.
We could do, we could find, little Christmas tales and read them.
Yeah. Little fun ones. Oh, my God. I just thought of a really sad one. That's technically Christmas. Little Match Girl. Oh.
Little Match Girl. I don't know these.
Oh, wait. That's such a sad tale. It's old and it's so sad. Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
But, yeah, no, there's a bunch of stuff. We could do that. Or we can go over our favorite Christmas movies. Guys, we don't just do books. We do, whatever is creative out there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If it's a movie that was created with fun characters to analyze and we are able to analyze it, we will.
Man, I love a good Hallmark movie. I was watching a good off-brand Hallmark movie.
How did I know you would be one of those people to like the Hallmark movies? You just give me
you know it. I love guessing the plot before it happens. And I love, cutesy, cheesy, romance, and it was so funny. My best friend came over, and she's like, "Let's watch a Hallmark movie." I was like, "Yes, let's do it," because we were making her finishing up her wedding decorations for her wedding, and it's Christmas themed.
Yeah.
So, because it's in December.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting here wrapping these candy canes on a napkin with garland.
Yeah.
And so we're doing that, and she's like, "Let's watch a Hallmark movie." I was like, "Okay." So I found one on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, but it wasn't actually Hallmark, but it was a Hallmark movie.
It was
It was called Catering Christmas. It was so cute, and I could tell it wasn't a Hallmark movie because there was some deep quotes in there. I was like, "Dang."
Oh, yeah.
Tell them that is great. This is not a Hallmark movie.
I don't know if this was a Hallmark movie or not, but I did watch a cheesy romance Christmas one where it was called The Christmas Prince, I think, or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And it was exactly what I thought the plot was going to be.
I know. I love guessing it. I'm like, wow, I could write movies.
But I don't really purposely watch them. I'll watch people criticize them because it's funny. I'll watch movie critics just be like, all right, let me say the plot. They'll tell you the plot before they watch the movie for the first time, and they'll just be like, "Yep." So funny.
Yep. I know.
No, we should do that. Maybe we should have chat vote on cringy Hallmark movies to watch. We'll all watch them and then give our opinions.
And then it'll be me over here being like,
We'll
I
make a
liked
tier
it.
list. We'll make a tier
I thought it
list.
was great.
We'll make a tier list of like the S tier Hallmark movies.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, I think this stream has gone on long enough. Probably one of our shorter streams, but definitely. Oh, I just realized the background music is no longer playing. That's fine.
Oh.
But thank you guys so much for joining. And again, like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, follow us, blah, 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 blah. And have a fantastic holiday. And we will see you guys next time for the first book of the second set. We really need to find labels for these, so it's a lot easier.
We do.
We
Yeah.
really do. We need to talk. We need to have a meeting. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna end stream now. Bye, guys!
Bye.
Let me go to our other screen. And then just... Yeah, okay, goodbye.